Welcome to another video on the Giant Take Podcast YouTube channel. I am Josh here, joined by my co-host Alex, and we are here after we did a preview episode last night and said on there that Daniel Jones is we're not definite starter, but we both would not be surprised if he would start for the team. He is not going to start for the New York Giants. He is out with the neck injury, the neck soreness, the neck strain. So it's going to be Mike Glennon, the backup quarterback for the New York Giants, the GOAT, stepping up and stepping in the starting role at quarterback. And Jake Fromm as his backup heading into the game on Sunday against Miami. This completely shifts the tide on our score predictions of, not for Alex really, but for me, a Giants win. I still think they can get it done. I have faith in this team. Funny enough that I say that, but I do. I think they can close it out of Miami if they really play to their strengths. They're going to have to run the ball a lot. We're going to have to see a lot of Saquon Barkley, and he hasn't been up to standards. Devontae Booker, he's going to be involved in there as well. But in this video, basically, we just wanted to get it out because really, really big news that Daniel Jones is out. And we also have a bunch of other news to talk about as well in this. So we'll get that to you in the next few minutes. Alex, how are you?
Doing good. Nothing really else to say besides I'm doing okay. I guess we'll get right into it. So we got a few roster moves, and then we got a couple of other things as well. So the roster moves, the Giants have placed tight end Caden Smith and Trent Harris, linebacker, on injured reserve. And that makes now a whole bunch of members of this injured reserve team for the Giants, including Blake Martinez, Jabril Peppers, Nick Gates, Shane Lemieux, Darnay Holmes, Caden Smith, as I just mentioned, Radarius Williams, Nate Ebner, Carter Coughlin, Trent Harris, CJ Board, and Dante Pettis. So it really goes to show the amount of injuries the Giants have suffered with this year. And when we get to the Sunday statuses, you'll see that we also have some issues there with other players who are not necessarily on the IR.
Alex, if we just had a QB, maybe a tackle in there, we could have a full-on roster on the IR right now. This could be good. We can start our own IR team.
Possibly. It might have been exciting. And Nate Solder wouldn't have been on it. So that's good, I guess,
Yeah, well, can you believe, a lot of injuries. I mean, I know that's how the NFL goes. It is what it is. But another game that Daniel Jones is missing. Has he missed any this season? One, right? It was one Mike Glennon.
Yeah, he missed one. No, he didn't miss any, actually. Remember, he went down in that Dallas game with concussion. And then Mike Glennon played the rest of the game. But besides that, he did not play any other games or parts of the games.
I don't know what that was. Something just like came out of your mic or something. I don't know.
Oh, just something? Okay.
No, it's fine now. I don't know. It was like it's fine. We're here. So basically kind of moving on to the next point. So Jake Fromm actually spoke to the media today talking about how he is happy and he feels like he's at home with all these Georgia Bulldogs on the New York Giants. Obviously, he was the Georgia starting quarterback a few years ago. And he said he's ready to step in at any time if he's needed. All the blah, 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 normal things that you would want to hear, from a guy who's going to be your backup quarterback on Sunday and could very well step in if Mike Glennon isn't looking too good. Honestly, I know Mike Glennon's a more veteran person here, Alex. I have no problem with like either of them starting. If it was Fromm and Glennon behind him, or if it's now Glennon, and Fromm, but whatever. I don't even know if I just said the same thing twice. But if whoever starts there, it doesn't really matter to me, even though Glennon is the more veteran-esque quarterback. Although when he started, it hasn't been so good. He's 2-15, excuse me, and his last 17 starts dating back to 2013. Got that from Zach Rosenblatt, so we appreciate him for that. And then with Daniel Jones out, here's another thing. This is another one from Zach Rosenblatt. With Daniel Jones out, this means that the Giants will only have 2 offensive players that have started every game this season. And like Alex was saying, that would be Nate Solder and Will Hernandez. 2 of the best players on this Giants O-line, to be very sarcastic there. And we also do still have a lot of other players on the injury report. It's not just Daniel Jones. It is the Trent Harris, Caden Smith on there as well, or both of them went to the IR. Excuse me. Also, Adoree Jackson is on there, defensive back with a quad injury. So he's out, and it's just I don't even know what to say, Alex. We're losing now defensive backs left and right here. Darnay Holmes going on the IR, and now Adoree Jackson going on there as well.
Yeah, it's certainly upsetting. We're gonna have to shift some people around, whether that means Julian Love to the slot, whether that means Aaron Robinson on the outside, which you'll probably see now as Aaron Robinson will step into that number 2 role, Love in the slot, possibly those two flipped. And but obviously with Logan Ryan back, that is a big help, obviously, at safety. Did you go through all the statuses for Sunday yet? I don't think so.
I
right.
didn't.
So
you go ahead.
I'm going right through. Don't try to stop me. It was kind of just like a courtesy question. And going through. So obviously Trent Harris, Adoree Jackson, Caden Smith, Daniel Jones are all ruled out, and doubtful are Sterling Shepard and Kadarius Toney. So those are going to be some big doubts. I don't think either of them are going to play. Pretty much whenever a player is called doubtful, I don't think you've ever seen, like, you rarely see doubtful players play, unless they are like a veteran who for some reason they were put on doubtful, even though their condition's not as bad. Someone like Sterling Shepard, to be honest, but he's been dealing with this injury for so long. I don't think it's kind of like that. It would be more of kind of like he was like really ill or something, and he just felt magically better the next day. And then questionable, we got Colin Gillespie, the fullback, John Ross, illness, tight end, Kyle Rudolph with his ankle, and Nate Solder with his elbow, questionable. Very interesting there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure those questionable, I'm not sure. I hope those questionable players will play. I can't be sure of anything anymore after this Daniel Jones news goes all over the place. It looks like we are going to be rocking with a Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, Colin Johnson wide receiving core this week, as it's now CJ Board, Dante Pettis both on IR, Shepard and Toney doubtful, and John Ross questionable. Those are the 3 wide receivers on our depth chart right now that are fully healthy.
I mean, they're a decent group of guys, right? On paper.
It's just crazy that only 3 wide receivers on our depth chart are fully healthy right now, and the rest are questionable, doubtful, or on the IR.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but like, if you think about it, we've got, besides like a nice slot receiver, which could either be Shepard or most likely Toney, really showing that only one of them is necessary, right? In whatever you look at, do you trade Shepard in the offseason, etc. But Golladay and Slayton as your 2 outside guys are definitely, I think that's a very nice core, right? Assuming Golladay actually gets targeted, which is, something else to discuss. But I kind of like that. And Colin Johnson's a nice receiver as well, but he's certainly not fit to play the slot. And obviously Darius Slayton isn't either. So that's kind of what we're missing there. So hopefully John Ross plays because he's a better fit at that position.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Alex. And again, of course, it's like these wide receivers, though, as well on 2 very strong cornerbacks. So we're going to have to look at that. We played against that with Philly, and now we play against some strong cornerbacks again here in Miami. So we started this, and let's end this video with Daniel Jones. Since these last 6 games, we're basically, and can still basically be the final determinations on Daniel Jones's future with the New York Giants. What are we going to do as, speaking in like the Giants coaching or GM or owner position when it comes to his future on our team? Is he going to be benched and or rested for the rest of the season due to the injury, or because we're ready to move on? Is it a season-ending injury, which has been talked about so many times? And Joe Judge got asked again today about it, and he can't speak on those. You can't speak on that. We don't get into specifics there. I get it, though. Head coach, whatever. Is he going to be back next week, or is he going to be back in a couple weeks? Alex, I asked you this question first, and I'll answer it. Then I'll answer it after you.
I think he's going to be out for a week, maybe 2 weeks. Because it just, like, if he's at practice, there's no way that he's just not going to play eventually this season. And I think that's going to be it. So it's definitely not season ending injury. I wouldn't say necessarily he's going to be back next week. I think it's probable that he is back in a couple weeks. I'm pretty sure, but that's my short and sweet answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal to me. I personally believe that Daniel Jones will be back next week. You have to think that Jones knows what's going on, right? You have to think that he's aware of his surroundings. He knows that this could very well be his last season with the team, his last few games with the team specifically. So he doesn't want an injury stopping that. Jones, whether you like it or not, he's a competitor. We've seen that in and out of the locker room, whatever you want to call it, on the field. So I think he's back next week, and I think he shows us what he's got for the rest of the season. Anyway, Alex, you got any final words? Besides, go Giants, and hopefully they get a win on Sunday with Mike Glennon as their starting quarterback.
No, go Giants, and Mike Glennon will get a win as a starting quarterback.
Hopefully we'll get a win as a starting quarterback. If you like this video, please go give it a like, subscribe to the Giant Take podcast here on YouTube or any of the platforms that you listen, mainly Apple Podcasts, Spotify, shipitstudios.com/the Giant Take. That's shipitstudios.com/the Giant Take. On there, you can find all our links. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok by the name The Giant Take Pod. We are on all of those platforms, so please go follow us there. We'd really appreciate it. I'm on Twitter at JoshSolo29. Alex is on Twitter at ANorian23. And we will, as long as nothing, that blows our mind happens before Sunday, we will see you for our recap on Sunday or Monday, for that, our instant reactions and recap to the game. But for now, enjoy the amount of weekend you have until the Giants game, and go Giants, go Big Blue, go Mike Glennon.